Ladies and gentlemen, Arknights 3.5 anniversary livestream has recently ended. It is time. We're going back to China to get another one of the Sui siblings. Where Vernal Winds Will Never Blow event will be released on the 28th of July. As expected, featuring a limited banner and some other cool stuff. But before moving on, I'd like to remind you to redeem your Livestream gift code if you haven't. Check out the description for instructions. Okay, now let's see all the info from the livestream and everything about the event. The event will feature a new limited banner. Featuring Chongyue, another 6-star brawler guard and the limited op. He is the eldest of the Sui siblings. Live and die with his fast attack and big damage multiplier. Nuking enemy in his range, and possibly your eardrums too. Like always, I will talk more about each operator in a separate video. But if you need a reliable DPS and burst ground unit, he's a good option. The other 6-star beside him is Linusia, finally becoming playable. Lin is our second 6-star phalanx caster. And now I think about it, her kit really suit this event. She has a special kind of crystal barrier that blocks any kind of attack as long as it does not exceed a certain value. Her second talent also gives her a chance to obtain SP when receiving hit. And some useful AoE damage skills for your stage run. Like most limited banner, some previous limited ops also have their rate up in this banner. This time all Chongyue's sisters have a rate up. For the 5-star, we have a new fortress defender called Fire Whistle. Another firebird, but thankfully with less anger issue. Her specialty is dealing arts damage over time. Pretty useful to use against crowd who have low resistance. As for the free operator in the event, we have Chongyue. A pretty solid 5-star op. With her Esther she can deal continuous damage and decrease enemy movement. This kind of limited banner is always more worth pulling. Because after the banner ends you will be given special currency to exchange for materials. Additionally, if you have accumulated 300 pulls in the banner, you can pick one of the rate up 6-star. New operators also come with new skins. And it seems the code dress is blue this time around. First of all, a second skin for Mulberry. A gorgeous blue dress for my favorite Sati member. Then a skin for Cantabile. I think we did it, fellas. Cantabile depression is no more. Lastly, a skin for Ling. She looks gorgeous and somewhat wiser. And as expected, the skin comes with Life 2D. And these are all the rerun skins that will become available soon. Now, time to learn the event mechanics and enemies. The event stages are filled with catastrophe fortification tiles. It's basically an elevated or ranged tile where you can deploy your ranged unit. With more positive effects than your average ranged tile. And if I'm not mistaken, those tiles are considered ground tiles by the game. I suppose it was to facilitate abilities that only affect ground unit. Since the majority of the stages will be full of this elevated tile. Do not think you are the only one who has the high ground superiority. Because ground enemies can walk to the elevated tile to kill your ranged unit. In the map, you will see this ramp and ladder. Enemy will use them to climb up to the upper tile to get to the blue box. Luckily some stages have this roadblock on the elevated tile. If none is present, you can try preventing the enemy from going upward. or use ground units that can be deployed on range tile to block. Phalanx casters can also be the alternative, but they only block one. Now for the enemies, we are fighting a group called Shen Heizhong. The first normal enemy is the puppy. The Trailblazer, they're usually not a troublesome bunch. But with the help of their comrade, they can be very deathly. They also appear instantly on an elevated tile in one stage for some reason. And this is the comrade. These guys got a swift movement. And will place a transmitter the second they set foot on the unoccupied elevated tile. Whatever you do, try to minimize the number of transmitters in the map. Either by destroying the transmitter, or preventing them from touching the elevated tile. Then we have your average bulky Joe, or should I say, bulky Joe. Next up, the Ringleader. We have the Seer. They can deal massive arts damage to your unit. The Wall Breaker, a tank that prioritizes anyone on the elevated tile. They hit hard, but luckily have a short range. Moving on, an APC that can pick up to 4 enemies in its path. As for the boss, we have a Firanmut called Ya. The boss isn't really tanky or have a crazy dodge. But Ya can screw your stage run by overwhelming you with enemies. You see, once the boss walks over a tile, that tile will get this mist effect, which will spawn enemies every several seconds. Ya can also spawn a fast moving mirage when blocked. That needs to be killed as soon as possible. The boss second phase is even more troublesome. Ya will become a low hovering aerial unit and spawn what seems to be Ya's clone. Always remember Ya will immediately swap places with the clone. And it's advised you target the real one to finish the stage faster. Clearing all of the event stages will award you with 29 PO. And as always, farm event stages. Get currency, and exchange them for the goodies. These are the tier 3 materials with higher drop chance in the event. New module for Corecaster. Xiayun will instantly get our module. Second module for Saria, and my bro Jordi Fontana-Rossa. Next up, new operators are added to the recruitment. New furniture, new medals. New record and paradox simulation. Like all limited banners, you will receive one free 10-time headhunting ticket. Free daily or undum. Another free daily or undum. And one free daily pull on the limited banner. Some new packages will be available. New merchandise, including the book version of the Record Originium manga. But the best of them all is definitely this mousepad. With a literal mouse printed on it. One final news we received at the same time during the livestream. Arknights anime Perish in the Frost just released its second teaser. That should be all. Adios.